Okay, I'm gonna let some people join in real quick. So I'm just gonna give it just a second. Okay, we got one person I think in here. I'm trying to wait for a couple people, but I'm about to go ahead and just start. Uh, if people don't join automatically, then that's on them for missing stuff. Um, let's see. I mean, they can always go back and watch the video. What in the world? There's somebody screaming outside my window out there. I don't know who that is. Okay, so we got one person. They are full now. What? Oh, that's so sick that I got to do my custom URL. I thought you had to have like I thought you had to have like 100,000 subscribers. That's the last time I was on YouTube. That's what it told me. But then I got on YouTube in the settings and it said that I can make a custom URL, and I was like, really? So I did youtube.com/moontrades, and it was like that's just I know it's so simple, but good lord, I'm so happy. All right, I'm just gonna jump right into this. Whoever wants to join later, they can join. Um, okay, so let's see. Crap, my wax just came off my braces. It's gonna bother me. Oh well. I'll put it on after the live stream ends. It's only gonna be like a 45-minute live stream. Okay. To get down to it, this is SPX, which is the S&P 500 index. And as if most people know, I trade SPY. That's, most people that associate with me as of right now. Um, that has been around for at least 5 days to more. Um, Probably not even that, and they would know this. But I trade SPY very often. It's like my best friend when it comes to the stock market. I'm a big believer in finding your number one stock to focus on because every stock has a different characteristic, just like people. They're all unique in their own ways and they all have different characteristics. Some have pros and cons differently. Some people outweigh in their cons, some people outweigh in their pros. There's more positive people, more negative people. Um, what I'm trying to say is usually, if you have a best friend, you know that friend from the back of your hand. You don't have to second guess things. You know what they're gonna do. You know how they think, and you know how they are. So, I did not mean to do that. Basically, what I'm saying is, if you study a certain stock, it has its own unique features and its own characteristics. This goes for everything. If you're an indicator user, I don't use indications that often. I use them every once in a while, but most of the time, I don't even use indications. They kind of mess up trading. Honestly, I got a little conspiracy that that's what they're there for, is to kind of mess you up. to kind of knock you off. But yeah, basically, they even have their own uh, ways of working with the indicators. Some can bounce on the SMA, some go right through the SMA, and some bounces on the EMA. The 15-day, the 180-day, the MACD, usually moves differently. But one thing you can really get to know a stock very quickly is just technical analysis. Is study its past patterns. If you saw a person and they just came out. This is a very bad example. I don't know why I'm saying it like this, but this is something that a lot of people might understand. If somebody were to just come out of prison, um, and they were in prison 2 times, and they were in prison 2 times for robbing a bank, right? Um, when they're out of prison and they're up to something, bad, you just know that something's about to go down. Most likely, based on their past patterns, you're doing your technical analysis. So technically, based on their past patterns, they're probably up to robbing a bank. That's just basically what we do in the stock market. Not It does not have to happen. It could be doing something completely different. Just like the stock does not have to repeat that pattern. It could be, changing its pattern to a whole nother, direction. It could be moving in a better direction or a worse direction in a different way. So that's why you always got to keep updated with the trends. Uh, but one thing I wanted to jump right into really quick, and this is kind of gonna interrupt my video for tomorrow. I'm making a video tomorrow about the stock market crash. Everyone's freaking out and it's cracking me up. But I guess people that are into my live stream right now kind of get they're gonna get more of a ideal of what I'm gonna be making tomorrow. Um, so people are thinking the stock market's gonna crash for some reason, right? So I see why people are misunderstanding it. But if you look at the overall chart, we're in a cup and handle pattern. We go down into this big bowl shape, and now we're at the handle. Usually after the handle is when you go to break highs, and it rips up to whatever it's going to go to. I'm not saying this is just going to instantly rip. No, not at all. What I'm trying to say is that this is probably going to come down and start trying it when it does show that curl, and it starts breaking up here above this little yellow dash line that I drew. I would be on high alert for a possible swing trade, or you could just day trade it day by day. That's what I like to do. Um, okay, so basically, a cup and handle usually goes down into this weird cup. It's hard to see this cup with SPY, but I'll show you one that kind of does resemble the same patterns of SPY, which is Amazon. So do you see this resistance, support, resistance, and then broke, right? So check this out. This is Amazon. You can kind of see the cup a little more firmly when it comes to Amazon. Um, it doesn't have to break highs. That's why it's called a cup, because if it broke highs or didn't break highs, then obviously it wouldn't be like a cup and handle pattern. Now, what's going on here, though, in my opinion, is um, yes, it didn't meet it fully, right? It doesn't have to. It's not going to meet it perfectly every single time. The stock market isn't a perfect down, up, down, up. No, it's an emotional roller coaster, and that's why I say sell at your previous resistance. But this is not a crash. I don't understand why people are saying this. Technically speaking, I could draw an ascending support here. It's a cup and handle pattern, which is very valid as of right now. Now, if this started breaking below 1581.05, then we would start calling it a crash. Then we would say, okay, it made a lower high and now it's making lower lows, because this is how the stock market works, right? This is what you want to look at it. All right, so either boom, it goes up and let's just say this is what it does. Okay, so pretend like this is going up. It's uptrending all the way, right? I'm just going to draw a very simple pattern. The stock market does not work like this. For example, this flat line people look at is very simple in a very like simplistic way, but in reality, it goes up, down, up, down, up, down. But overall, it's that kind of direction. That's the trend. That's the momentum of the trend. So it goes up, uptrend, and it's breaking these highs, just like right here, breaking these highs, and it comes down, and everyone's freaking out and saying that, oh crap, this is never been seen before. Which, don't get me wrong, we were going into a recession here. Now, Trump, that is in office, brought us out of the recession. Um, I'm about to explain that really quick. So, which is why SPY just went from a downtrend to an uptrend. It doesn't work like that. It goes downtrend, consolidation trend, uptrend, or uptrend, consolidation trend, downtrend. But basically, see this pattern here? If this were to go up, just like it did, let's just say Amazon was correct, right? It didn't just go from a downtrend to uptrend. It went downtrend, consolidation trend, and then when it broke its highs here, it went into an uptrend. Um, and now this was a solid, downtrend here, but is it a higher low or is it a lower high? Is this lower than this high? I just want to quiz you guys really quick, or at least the one person that's watching. I'm about to teach you something, and you don't have to comment. Just get it in your head. Just answer it in your head really quick. Then I will go ahead and tell you exactly what I think. Sorry, I was just looking on there. Okay, let me get that chat back up just in case somebody does come in here. Where is it? There we go. Okay, is this a lower high? Is it lower than this high? Technically, you can look at it as that. This is where it could be misunderstood. Right, this is where everyone's misunderstanding the stock market. Number one, gaps tend to fill. We have a gap here that has not filled. So we should at least get a retest of this 1806 area before we actually confirm if it's going to break lows. Now, again, it's not just going to go from an uptrend to a downtrend, right? I don't know what just happened. To a downtrend. That's not how it works. Uptrend, consolidation trend, and then it decides if it wants to break up or break down, right? So what I'm saying is there's going to be a support, most likely here. Here, I'll just use this tool. I don't like this tool, but I'll use it. Here, I'm going to make these, we're going to make these yellow because there's no other yellow lines. That way you can kind of get what I'm saying here. Okay, this is how it works, right? Typically you want to see some consolidation. And before any trend, there has to be consolidation. Now, it doesn't 100% have to happen. Nothing has to happen. An asteroid can smack Earth right now, but technically speaking, they always say it's not going to happen because the odds of it happening are very slim, right? So even when it has past patterns of not happening, you can kind of predict on when it's going to happen. But there's no patterns of it just going from an uptrend to a downtrend. It goes uptrend, consolidation trend, and then downtrend. Consolidation trend and uptrend. And then consolidation trend is next. So therefore we should be seeing a peak, somewhere back and forth here. Not saying that's exactly how it's going to go. And then it either decides to go down low or it decides to go sideways up here, create, whenever it forms like a resistance very close to it, or when it consolidates very close to a resistance, it usually pops out. Now, I'm not saying that has to go exactly like that. It can go up and make a lower high here, which would make the downtrend stronger. It would be more influensive, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's all about if it breaks below here, it makes lower lows. Now, it could technically still do that. You just got to wait and watch, see if it actually curls back up and pops back above that support, or if it continues to go up and then resist off that trend and break more lows. That would be a downtrend. But as of right now, technically speaking, we should get this kind of sideways trend, as in like, up, down, up, down, up, down, just making its way. It's not going to be perfect. It could go any way. It's not going to do exactly what I just drew. You cannot predict the future, but, the odds of it going in this kind of trend is most likely going to happen. So, the downtrend, or basically what I'm trying to say is that the market crash, it's completely irrelevant. The people that are uploading these videos, and I'm uploading one tomorrow to get attention because I want to tell everyone how it is. People think Trump is stupid. Guys, this dude has a $1 billion hotel in New York City, downtown. Okay, look, you can call a guy stupid that's in school, but when his report card says straight A's, then that means he's probably not stupid, because even someone that's going to cheat, if they were to cheat and still get straight A's, they're probably still pretty smart for doing whatever the heck they did, because it's almost impossible to sit there and do that by cheating. But if they did, then so be it. I mean, they were smart to do that. They were smart to actually get away with it, is what I'm trying to say. Um, because if they weren't, they wouldn't have got away with it. So what I'm trying to say is, if Trump is in office, okay, whether or not you don't like him, whether or not you do like him, that's irrelevant. He's your president, and I'm going to stress this out in my next video tomorrow. Support your president or get out of the country, right? This is your country. Support it. You're wanting a market crash to happen. And when it does end up happening, they're going to be the people that are crying because their grocery stores closed down, and then people start eating other people, and then you got to move to the country and sell all the places, and you don't want to be in the city because then there's going to be a big riot, and you're going to have to worry about people breaking in and going through all your house and looting everything. And it's not what people think. You don't get rich when shorting the stock market, okay? You actually short it, and then you get to see all the millions of dollars you're making, that it's actually worth $0. See, you can have millions of pieces of paper, but is the value of that paper actually still the same? No, it'd be worth nothing, nothing, nothing at all. Um, and what you could do is, if it ever did happen, then obviously, for the people that are on my channel, if they don't know this, this is how we'd prevent from losing money and we'd actually make money. If it were to happen, which most likely, no, it's not. It's too overall trend is way stronger than the downtrend, right? There's no confirmation of a downtrend. So but let's just say it did. If it did happen, then we would want to invest into gold, which is JNUG, dust, or whatever it is, dust, or other one, whatever dust is. I don't know. It's like a It's not JDST. That's the inverse of gold. But JNUG, JNUG, is what you'd want to be investing in. Because look, see how the market is kind of pointing down right here? Let me go to SPY. Market's kind of pointing down here. JNUG's probably going up. I haven't even looked at it in forever, so I don't have no idea. But it's just proof. See, the market's going down, so JNUG's shooting up. So JNUG hit this heavy support here, and now it's shooting up. But yes, it broke highs here, but gosh, I saw this pattern yesterday on SPY, and it kept going down. So therefore, the market's probably going to recover, and this is going to keep going down. This was lower, and that was a valid high, or that was a valid, like I was trying to prove earlier in Amazon. This is a lower high here. And how do you validate the lower high? I'll get back to that on Amazon, because I don't think I fully answered that. I got distracted. I'm sorry. Number one, this is a lower high. And the reason being is because it fell back where it came from. That 100% push, 100% downfall. Now, if it falls 100% down here, then that's a peak. That's what it is. If it were to fall and only be right here, then technically it could still go up and break. So it's nowhere near even considered a peak, right? So I'm going to go back to Amazon to show you. Well, crap. Okay, so Amazon here, you can see it is, yes, the patterns look like it, that they look like they stay consistent. They look like it's supposed to happen, right? But listen, it is not I don't know if you answered that to yourself, whoever's watching. It is not a high. It's not a lower high. It's nowhere near even considered a peak yet. We haven't had confirmation on anything. That's why it cracks me up when I see people saying the market's going to crash, because how are you saying it's going to crash? Based off what? News? What? Off Trump's tweets? Dude, like, obviously he's smart enough to realize that maybe if he tweets, the market goes down, which actually attracts more investors to push it back up. And what if he actually wants it to go down so that he can buy it when it drops and then reinvest all of his money into America? Because what if that's his plan over the market not crashing? Because he obviously has a plan. I'm about to show you why. But there could be anything going on. Yeah, right? It's the government. I'm not siding with them. I'm just saying, it's your country, support it. And not only that, you want to stay focused on what matters. Don't get distracted and start looking for a downtrend, because overall trend's up, and then you're going to be breaking out money. Your account's going to be disappearing very fast. But basically, see how this didn't fall 100% down here? And like I said earlier, if this were to fall down here, then I'd be a little worried about it pushing up and then rejecting and breaking lows. But if it were to come down here, then yes, that would be a lower high, and that wouldn't be a good sign. It still wouldn't be a confirmation that it could go in a downtrend because it could still start bouncing right back up and start trending right back up. But basically, technically speaking, this needs to touch this area for this to be a lower high. As of right now, this is probably going to curl back, but not saying, I don't know the future, so just basing it off patterns, it's typically a resistance, a really strong one that had trouble breaking at one point. It's probably going to have trouble breaking as a support too, because it's going to be a strong one. So it might go up and down sideways here and there. You can probably get one, a good support or whatnot here just to kind of see if it starts bouncing back and forth in this channel and then breaking up. Um, Gosh, look at those drawings. I do apologize if someone just now joins in. That is a mess. That's asking for a headache right there. All right. Hang on. Let me just check out everything. All right. We still have one watcher. Let's see. Just making sure. I'm not going to be doing this live stream for a super long time, so I'm just trying to make sure that some people that the people that don't join, that's just really on them. I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm going to be looking at a call on SPY, but not saying I'm going to take a position. If the person that's watching right now, if they're on my Instagram, they'll see if I do or not. I usually post it on my story. Let's see. 1 second. Okay, so now let's go to the stock I like to trade really quick. SPY. It's an ETF of SPX, right? SPX is the index. This is the ETF. The let's see. So you can kind of see my drawings I have here. I try to keep them organized. I don't like to overcomplicate things. This is actually too much drawings in my eyes. I've been on it all day watching it. Now, I did call out a pretty nice push today. I'm not saying that it was a big push. No, but I am saying that on the 1 minute chart, I'm about to show you what I caught out. I caught it out from 240 or 274.50 all the way to 275.50. And if you did a same day expiration date in option trading, that would have been over 100% gain right there. Because I was watching the price. I was going to take a position. In fact, I didn't because I was on the phone with someone, and I actually told him. It was a buddy of mine. I told him I was like, hey, I was like, SPY is about to break highs, and all of a sudden, all we hear is a doom. I was like, oh, there it goes. I was like, oh, I should invest right now, and I didn't because I was distracted. So I even told him I was like, I'm not going to just in case because I know I'm on the phone and I'm kind of messing around. I like to stay focused when I take a position, and I like to be alone in a quiet room. So, and there's a reason for that. Um, but yeah, I'll show you what I did on SPY. First of all, look out. See, that's a valid cup. Right back where it went, almost perfectly. That trend right there is almost perfect. Um, let's see, and see, technically speaking, how I said Amazon, it's not a lower high, right? Because it never fell 100%. See how this rose 100% from this support, and now it fell 100% right there? That's still not a lower high. I mean, obviously, it broke highs. So therefore, technically, it's still growing. Um, if this even fell down to here, oh, they better be watching out because I'm gonna be putting some money in because and that's totally my opinion on what I would be doing. Just because I know the overall trend, I know that this is not natural. This doesn't just happen. There always is a consolidation trend, and when it went to a downtrend, we entered a recession, and then boom, popped right back out because Trump knows what he's doing. Trust me. Just trust your country. Um, let's see. I'm gonna go to the 1 minute really quick and show the um. Okay, look, so this was so funny because I even called out the second one too. So I even posted this on Instagram. I said, anybody notice that 273.50 area not wanting to break? Right? See this support? It did not want it. It was not. It was not accepting below that price. It wasn't. And I'm all open eyes, right? And open ears. I don't just take a trade just because based on a certain pattern, but So you see this how it it went down, it broke highs here, right? You wait for this doesn't mean when it pulls back you buy the higher low and it's going to rip, because obviously it didn't and it fell. And most people would have panicked and sold here and then it would have went up. That's how it mostly happens. Um, but that's why it's good to trade the 5 minute chart or the 15-minute chart. That way you don't you don't lose that confirmation. I'm about to go over that too. Um, but look at the overall trend, the overall pattern. So it didn't want to break this, so we got our support. It came down, it hit the support, and where did I validate that was a support? Is this candle right here when it broke this candle, this big candle that touched that support? It broke a back above it, and that was a validated bounce, in my opinion. Now I was looking to see if it could break this high, and it did. So that doesn't mean I'm entering on a pullback, which I could have, but it wouldn't have been that big of a trade. It would have been just up here. I mean, option trading, that could have been a good 5%, but still. Um, this is the candle I was talking about. So do you see this nice resistance here? Oh yeah, I forgot I had the level tool. There we go. So it was trading in between. There was a cluster here. Clusters are your best friend. I said that in my last video. The reason being is because where there's a cluster, where basically a cluster is high volume bars. A big red bar, big green bar, big red bar, big green bar. Those are strong resistance. Something's wanting to change there, and they can't make up. They're basically, think of it like bulls and bears are playing tug of war. Uh, the people that's wanting it to go down and the people that's wanting it to go up are playing tug of war. That's what's creating this. And then obviously bears won slightly here, but then bulls noticed the validated bounce here, which made them stronger. So they broke highs and came right back up. So this cluster is a resistance, right? So we start from here, 100% fall, 100% push up, just like on that large chart I just showed you. On the overall chart, right? The overall picture. Um, I think it's the 4-hour, 180-day chart. How it made that cup and handle. Technically speaking, this is a miniature cup, and then a little handle, and then boom, it pushes up, breaks highs, pulls back, and then rips. Now, this is where the trade was that I called out today while I was on the phone. So you can see it's at 274.42. My bad. It was I averaged it 274.50 to 275.50. But I was watching it whenever it had this candle right here. This is when I started calling it out. I was on the phone, right, and this candle pushed down, and then I saw the open of the green candle right where it closed. This is called a bullish engulfing candle, right? Um, Now what happened here is the people were like, okay, I am willing to sell from 274.32 all the way down to 274.18. And then the bulls said, well, I don't want to accept anything lower than that. I'm willing to buy at the range of 274.18 to 274.33, which is engulfing the entire sellers. So, the bears were like, oh, okay, that, let's give it our all. This was their all. And then bulls came in and said, okay, no, we're just as strong. Therefore, bulls are probably about to take over because it engulfed all of the bears. Technically speaking, there would be no more bears if you want to look at it that way. And another thing, technically speaking, it never trended below this. It never traded below this, if you want to look at it like that, because it fell and then completely engulfed. So technically the price stayed right there and then bounced. And I say that because, and some people can't see what I'm saying whenever I talk about that kind of stuff, but you can obviously see that's a nice support right there. But basically, I didn't enter. I knew it though. I was like, okay, whoa. It just created a full-on uh, bullish engulfing candle. And you can't trade based on just a candle pattern. It doesn't have to keep going up. But when it started going up, right here is where it should have rejected if it was going to. It broke that high, and right there, right when it broke that resistance that I just drew, I was like, oh, 274.50, that would be a good call. And I even went on there to watch I was about to place a trade. And I told myself, no, don't do it. You're on the phone. You're distracted. So I was just watching the price of the option chain, like where I would have bought, and then I saw where I would have sold at 275.50, just to be safe about it, right? And the price of it went from 40 cents, and I usually don't buy that low at all. I usually buy it at like $1.60, but it went from 40 cents and traded above 82 cents. That was like 110% profit, because that's doubling. 40 plus 40, that's 100% right there. Um, so basically, I could have entered here, and this is in the 1 minute chart. Think you could have made double your investment. If you would invest $800, you would have just made $800 less than a minute. Less than a minute because of the volume that came in. And this is day trading chart, the 1 day, 1 minute, meaning the entire chart is 1 day and every candle is 60 seconds, so it's just 1 minute long. Um, so I would have sold at 275.50 because I was a little nervous. Honestly, it did peak way up here at 275, 86, and yes, you could have got filled. Obviously, people did get filled here because they were selling. And I literally called this out too. I said, watch this thing fall all the way back down. The reason I say that is because fast runners are fast fallers, and it fell all the way down. Right? And so I saw this support. Keep in mind what we talked about earlier, this heavy support that was not accepted. I was watching that. I mean, I honestly I thought it was going to break, but right whenever this candle broke this high, this wick right there, let's draw it. Right when it broke there, I was like, wow, is it really about to try to go right back up? It validated a bounce on the support again. Therefore, it did not want to trade below that again. And so I'm thinking, okay, yes, it traded below it here, but I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's retesting this high, and it went right back up to 275.50. Literally, even at a better price, this would have been like 150% profit. Um, Obviously, it would have been about 100% profit just due to 1 second. Grief. Sorry about that. Got a text message. Let's see. Let me make sure there's one person watching still throughout the whole live stream. I don't understand how we got like 4 or 5 votes on Instagram. Um, okay. Oh well. Whatever. It's not even a big deal. Um, for the person that's in here right now, I don't know who it is, but I'm just I try to keep going just because if that person is someone that's actually watching, I want to at least, send you some value through this live stream. Basically, what I was saying though is the uh, the chart is not wanting to trend below this, right, on the 1 minute chart. And I said this like 3 days ago, I think, on I think it was over the weekend. I said that, no, it was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday when I said this. Um, I was like, okay, 273 would be my desired entry, and then I set it. Let's see, 5 minute or 15 minute. It was trading over here, and this is where I set it. So people thought, I had messages, right? People thought I was breaking highs because it went down, and this kind of pulled all the way back. People thought this was a break of the high, and I was like, well, you're also trying to play bull patterns. You're trying to play bull trends, bull patterns and a downtrend, right? So technically, the 15-minute chart is a downtrend, making lower lows. Um, so you're trying to play these bull patterns in a downtrend. Not only that, it didn't break highs. It went. This is a wick, right? Yes, it got filled all the way back down here, but technically speaking, it did at one time wanted to trade at 279. So it was not a high. And that's what I try to tell everyone right here, literally right here at this resistance. Previous support, resistance, new resistance also. It came back up and I said, okay, SPY is probably etching lower. And it started pushing down very aggressively with that candle right there. On the 1 minute chart, it looked insane. Um, it fell 100% of that fall, which made it lower and break a low. So now that it broke a low, people were like, okay, I know it's trending down. I'm going to wait for the pullback to sell my shares. That way I can not cut such a big loss. It pulls back up and people start cutting all their losses, so it's not such a large loss all the way down here. They cut it up here, which creates this wick on this candle. And then it starts pushing lower. And it retested 279 again. That was a big deal right there. So it started pushing down, and basically overnight, I saw that it was going in this like it was trying to, or it had this gap down, and I saw this big candle here. I remember when this opened up, I was like, wow, that's a large candle. So obviously, people do not accept the price there because the whole entire candle was a fill. It was from the open to the close, like was all filled orders for bulls. Um, so I had an idea that maybe it won't even touch the 273 area that I was talking about on Friday, because I said that that would be my desired entry, and that's why I drew that support. You can see it on the 4 hour, or the 1 hour actually would be a good one. Um, 4 hour. Yeah, right here. So it once pushed up and came back down and bounced and then started breaking highs. And it once came back down and touched this support again, pushed up and started breaking highs. Um, and now it came back down and it's trying to touch this. It basically touched it. You can see though that people are not really accepting it at this low of a price. Um, and again, 100% bearish candle here, and then a bullish engulfing candle, engulfed the entire red candle. Instead of the wick, though, it engulfed the entire body of the red candle, which is this red part. Um, but yes, so technically I said that this could be bottom. Now we don't know that yet. We have no idea yet. But we have a good idea on what's going to go on because it could be bottom. The reason I say that is because remember, it wasn't accepting below this price. It did try to trade below this price right here, but it did not really accept it. It tried to push right back up, and they said, "Okay, no, we're gonna retest. We're gonna try to trade back below this price." And the bulls were like, "Nope," and went back up. So this 100% fall that happened again had a 100% recovery. That's a sign of a bottom. I am not saying this is bottom. I'm saying that's a sign. We have our first or second indication that this could possibly be the bottom. Our first indication was the support in the past at 273. It doesn't have to be perfect again. If it's growing, it's probably going to be a little higher than 273 anyways, so that's a good thing. Um, but we have our second indication over these 100% pushes and then falls and then 100% recovery again for the third time. That was a third time. Um, it was having a tough time here trading above this price. Yeah, as you could obviously see, they could not make up their mind. Um, but that really does mean that uh, there's a good indications that this could possibly be bottom. You notice the volume that's been happening here. These crazy looking wicks and candles that are fully like just 100% volume basically. The volume increased, and usually that happens in a consolidating point. Usually that happens in a reversal. You'll see these huge candles, these crazy looking candles. These two candles right here gave me direction, right? I look at these wicks on these candles in directions. I'm like, okay, people are actually willing to kind of trade at 279. It's just not, the stock's not ready yet. So I know that, we're pretty close to bottom. So I took that as an indication also. Um, Typically, whenever you get wicks like that, it does try to trade right back up where those wicks were, which would be 279. Let me make sure. Hang on. Oh crap! No, wrong one. That's emails. I want to make sure that I need my chart. Where in the heck is my Oh, there it is. I made sure my chat was out. I didn't want somebody to be commenting or something. Not responding over here. Okay. Um, we are getting pretty long into the live stream. I'm getting kind of into it, so I usually say I'm going to do it for 30 minutes to 45 minutes, but obviously we know how I am. I get to talking and distracted, and I just love the stock market. Like, once I talk about it, it's like, oh, excuse me. It's like I can sit there and talk about it all day long. I'm telling you right now, if you want to talk about the stock market, just direct message me. Um, or actually try to get in touch with me. Don't just say, hey, where is this going? No, that makes me not want to respond to people. I have someone like that on Instagram right now that it makes me not want to respond to. But one thing that would catch my attention is, hey, so what do you think about SPY? I think it's going to be heading up. And then I'll say, oh, okay, we're on a good conversation here, and I will start to jump into it. We'll even jump in a Google Hangout and we'll live trade with each other. That's one thing I love doing. I've done it. I've done it with 5 people at once before in Google Hangouts, trading live. Right. This is the account. I don't know if you guys. Let's see. This is the account that I took all the money out. Here right now, there's $770. Um, what we're going to be doing is uh, we're going to be actually invested 300 of it. I put $300 in this account, and I was like, I told everyone, I was like, we're gonna do $1,000 account challenge, and I was like, okay, I put $300 in here, and I started trading. I think it was back when was it? It was the 25th, I think, which would be where's the 25th? Like crap. But I believe this is the 25th. I don't want to be wrong though. I'm really confused on what this is trying to say right now. Okay, but basically, I told everyone, I was like, this account did have 12 cents in it, right? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna put 300 bucks in it, and I was about to just transfer the 4,000 into this account, but then I got the idea of, I remember whenever I put $500 in an account, and I started growing it on my Discord and on Instagram, and it was really fun. So I took that $300, and we're sitting at 770.12 right now. Um, and I haven't invested anymore. It was just that bit. But basically, what we're gonna do is once this hits 1,000, which it probably will tomorrow, once this count hits $1,000, I'm going to start a live trading session on YouTube, and I think we'll start this Friday or Thursday, or we might just go ahead and start it Monday and get ourselves prepared over the weekend. Um, Whoever's watching this though right now, just keep updated because this is a huge opportunity for us all to trade together and kind of like not copy each other's trades. Again, everything that I say is my opinion. Um, and if somebody trades based upon my opinion on the live streams, then that's on them if they lose money. If I lose money, that's on them too. They shouldn't be copying me. But, I'm going to be basically trading live, and so that's going to be sick because I'm going to literally point out exactly why I see value into a call or put and why I see value into selling a call or put, right? So you guys will get to see me live trading $1,000, and we're going to turn this in to around $1 million, right? I want to show you guys this live. Um, People think it's impossible to get rich quick. You don't want to hear that. You don't. Don't let me scare you away when I say that. Um, but yes, you can get rich quick in the stock market. Definitely. Trust me. I've seen it thousands of times. And that is not getting lucky. Okay, there's people with Bitcoin that get lucky, right? Okay, but those are people that don't know how to trade. They were just lucky they got in. They were just right opportunity, right time and place. Um, but to be consistent, then you can actually take that million and start turning it into crazy money. I'm telling you, like, you can make crazy money that you won't even be able to show people because they won't believe you. You just don't want to show people, trust me. Um, you'll create a big mess. Uh, okay, but basically, we're going to be trading options, and this is going to be so fun because we're going to be pulling about 5 to 10%. Now, I'm not saying that has to be minimum. I used to do 20% a day live with people, and people didn't believe me. It was funny though because it was live, and I showed everyone. I was like, okay, number one, even if the even if the money wasn't real, which 100% it was. I mean, obviously I'm live. I was like, even if it wasn't, I mean, I'm making the calls. Isn't that what matter? The percentage? Like, I was making people so much money because they were trading based upon my opinion, even though that wasn't like. I told them, I was like, look, don't trade based upon my opinion because you can lose a lot of money, and I don't want to be responsible for anyone's loss. But I would have these price targets for my stock, right? And then I would post my entries and exits, and I guess people would always, I guess, follow those. And it made me feel really uncomfortable. It actually stressed me out a lot. But you know, there were some people that were messaging me saying I helped them out a lot. Um, we were making 20% a day, which if you add it up, that's 100% a week. And if you add that up, what is 100%? 2 pennies, and you do 100%, that is 2 pennies. That equals 4 pennies. That's an account doubler or an investment doubler. So if you have $1,000, that means in 1 week you'll have $2,000. 2 weeks you'll have 4,000. 3 weeks you're at 8,000. It keeps doubling 100% every week. So, um, you know, let's say your first month, right? You're at around $8,000, and then you double that to let's see, I'm going to count this. So 8,000, 16,000. Hang on a second. 8,000, 16,000, 32,000. If I'm not mistaken. I'm not doing really well with my math right now. 32,000 and 64,000, and then 120,000. You're on the second month. That was 4 weeks. 4 weeks. 8,000, 16, 32, 64, and 120. That's 4 weeks. So that's another month. So you're sitting at 2 months with $120,000 from 1,000. It compound interest, whatever, is amazing. Look, there's this yield curve. This means that if you make even 10% a day and you're making 50% a week, and I like to cut it down. I don't trade every day. I watch it a lot of times. So I like to say 3 to 4 times 10% a day, meaning you'd hit about 40% a week, which, you add that up. And that's still so good. It's so much better than most people think. They think it's going to take 4 years to get really good money in the market. It's not at all. And not at all. You don't need a lot of money to make a lot of money. Um, but 40%, let's see, 1,000. And by the way, it's going to be more than this because that would be rolling it over. But 40%, that would be $400 a week. That's already like a 9 to 5 job right there, $400 a week. So you're sitting at 1,400 within first week. And then you times that by 4, which it would be more than that, but times 4 is $5,600. And the reason it'd be more than that is because I did times 4, meaning that was going to be, what was that, like $1,400 times 4, obviously. But if you think about it, every single day you're going to be investing more money for rolling your account over. So therefore, your 40% is going to be a lot more than just that typical $400 a week. Eventually, it's going to boost up to like 600 to 700 a week on the third week, which would be way more. I don't know. I'm thinking about starting a live trading challenge though, with 1,000%. Who is calling me right now? Okay. Yep. Sorry, my buddy's calling me. This actually is who I was on the phone with earlier. Um, let's see. We've been live streaming for 46 minutes. Whoever's watching this, thank you. It might actually be myself. I don't know if it's just myself and I'm talking to myself or who it is, but I really do appreciate you staying tuned. You stayed tuned since I started the live stream around. Let's see, you joined at 9:32 within 2 minutes. That means a lot. It really does. Um, if you enjoyed this, please give it a like and let me know that you were a different person, not just myself watching. If you can give it a like, that would be amazing. Um, I'm going to upload a good video tomorrow, and I'm going to do another live stream tomorrow at around probably around 9:30, same time. If you don't like how late that is, if it's late for you or if it's too early, let me know. I mean, first commenters are usually the first ones I respond to and I answer to. So, as in, like, I will work with everyone that is needing to be worked with. Like, if you're actually wanting to get better at the stock market, let me know. Like, comment below or direct message me on Instagram. I will work with you. 100%, but I gotta know you're serious. So, if, obviously, if no one messages me or if someone messages me like earlier and says, "Where are you entering?" I didn't even respond. I opened the message and all he saw was seen, and I didn't respond. I want to see some motivation. I want to see some actual people that are wanting to actually grow their account successfully and consistently, not just wanting to follow me because that's very illegal and you can't do that. Um, but yeah, I do appreciate this viewer that's viewing right now. It's 48 minutes, so I'm going to end the live stream. Again, $1,000 account challenge is challenge. The $1,000 account challenge is coming very soon, and I really hope you guys are excited for it. I say that because people will probably see this because it posts these on my channel after I'm done with them. Yeah, so thank you again for joining. And I'll see you guys in the next video.